Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast. We have an incredible guest for you today. He's an industry thought leader, a loyalty experience expert, and an M&A guru. Please help me welcome Denis Brosnan, Portfolio CEO, CORA Group of Jonas Software. It's a division of Constellation. Denis, it's great to have you back.
Michael, it's so great to be back. It's been way too long.
It certainly has, and I know that a lot of things have been taking place. Let's start with, just for our listeners to remember, if they don't remember, how CORA approaches M&A and who you are. Give us a little background, and then we'll start diving into a lot of other interesting topics.
Yeah, for sure. We are part of Constellation Software, which is a public company out of Canada. And we have a unique business model in that we buy and operate software companies forever. We've never resold an asset, and we typically operate them independently. So that's why a lot of people have never heard of Constellation. Now, we own about 1,600 of these around the world. We're over 90,000 employees now, so it's
Wow.
pretty amazing. Yeah,
It's probably one of the largest software companies that no one's heard of, right?
absolutely. We tell that to our folks all the time. We're right up there with Microsoft and Google and the rest of them, but everybody knows them, just not us.
Uh, so talk to me. You said you've never sold off an asset. I think that's important for our listeners to understand. We've got a lot of fintech companies that listen, a lot of fintech providers. Talk to me about what do you look for in an organization, and then how do they stay, or how does it stay independent? Walk me through that a little, because it's so contrary to how most people think of acquisitions.
Sure thing. About half of our acquisitions are owner operated, so we're acquiring from the founder. About the other half are carve outs from other corporations that have decided that for whatever reason, the asset that we're buying is no longer core to their strategy. But in any case, the metrics are the same, right? What we really care about are the customer relationships and the employees, because we don't bring those to bear, and we're going to continue to run that business forever. So that really resonates with founders, because they really want their company and to go on, and they want their employees taken care of. And the same is true in the carve-out situation, because oftentimes these customers are still their customers for another part of the business, and so they want to
Right.
make sure that they're well taken care of. And then we spend time with them. We want to understand what it is they want to do, what the challenges are. Many times founders have taken the business from A to B to C, and they can see what it takes to get to K or L or M, but they can't really get there themselves. Or, they remember eating rice cakes when they were startups, and they don't really want to go back to those days anymore, right? So they like to de-risk that journey a little bit. So we love to help them with that, and it's a really fun gig to get to do.
I absolutely love that. And for those tech companies that are listening, that are kind of thinking, you definitely need to reach out to Denis. They do incredible things. Now, Denis, there's a lot going on in the loyalty side. When I started it off, I mentioned that you're an expert in the loyalty experience. You guys have a number of entities: RewardOps, Carlson Marketing Solutions. You got Points at Work. Talk to me, what's new and what's going on in the loyalty space?
Yeah, it's a fascinating segment. I cover fintech more broadly for Cora, but we have a pretty big installation in loyalty, to your point. So, RewardOps is kind of like a marketplace or e-commerce engine. So, it is the power behind big brands, loyalty programs, airlines, credit card companies, for fulfillment. So, when you redeem your points for gift cards or iPhones or whatever, we handle that transaction. It goes through our technology. Carlson Marketing Solutions is a program management technology that powers the loyalty programs themselves. And we're talking for very large banks, travel entities worldwide. We're global. The sun never sets on Carlson Marketing, and big installations in Asia and the Middle East. And we also bundle with it a lot of services like data sciences. We do marketing services for our customers. So the inbound email marketing that you get from your loyalty programs could very well be coming from us, something we created for you, right? And then the last piece, Points at Work, is a very special targeted loyalty platform for incentive programs that are B2B.
Okay.
So either sales incentive programs, like we have a tire manufacturer, and they're incentivizing dealers to sell more of their tires versus somebody else, right? And also employee incentive programs. So we have a large food processor that incentivizes their employees for good performance and things like that. And again, they can get gift cards and other things through the platform, just like any other loyalty program. And we're really excited because over the past year, we have put a lot of time and effort into really tightly integrating those platforms and expanding our global footprint so that our customers can come in one door, whether it's a channel program like Points at Work or another door like Carlson Marketing, and we can fulfill everything through RewardOps, through our worldwide vendor networks. And as you might imagine, I mean, we are literally redeeming millions of dollars worth of rewards every week all over the world. And so it's a really complex, but also super cool business to be in. And, before coming to CORA, all I knew about loyalty was what I, did myself, right?
Right.
And
How
so
many
now I
hotel
understand
points do I have, or how many airline
yeah,
miles
yeah.
do I have, and how do I cash them in?
Now I know how it's actually done on the back end, and it's extraordinarily complex, but we make it simple for our customers because that's what we do.
Oh, I absolutely love that. So let's talk as we're talking fintech. What are you seeing in the fintech world? Obviously, there's a lot of buzz about AI and everything, but what are you guys really looking for or looking to add possibly to the portfolio as it relates to fintech?
Yeah, so we are spending a lot of time in AI, as you might imagine. We have enterprise relationships with Google and Microsoft, and we leverage, I think, 35 different large language models in our different products that we're doing. For us right now, we're primarily leveraging AI both for our internal consumption, you know, automating processes and things like that. And we're starting to build that into some of our customer solutions. And it varies by industry, right? Because I do fintech, a lot of our financial institution clients, they don't want anything to do with it,
They're
right?
not quite
Because
there
they're
yet,
scared.
are they?
They don't like privacy concerns and all that kind of stuff, and for a good reason, right? So from an acquisition standpoint, we're still buying a lot of companies that are not AI enabled, and that's great. We love to buy these companies that typically have been established for a while. We don't buy a lot of startups. We buy companies that have been around at least 8, 10 years. We buy companies that have, again, we don't buy startups, so we don't buy unprofitable businesses. We buy businesses that are, maybe slow growth types of businesses, and we're looking for ways to help them grow and sustain themselves long term. And so, we think because of our, exposure to AI and the amount of investment that we're making into it, that's one thing that we're going to be able to bring to bear so that founders that maybe want to sell their business because they're worried about AI wiping it out or not, they don't know how to apply it. That's something that we think we can do. And really, our model, which is buying and operating vertical management software businesses, we think is going to be very sustainable through AI. Our founder did a podcast about this the other day, and really emphasized the fact that what we're doing, where we're dealing with proprietary data sets and technology, these things are kind of outside the scope of a lot of AI stuff. So we think that it's a good opportunity for us. Plus, quite frankly, capital access is a little dry right now. I mean, for a lot of people, right?
That's
The
right.
cost of credit is very high. You're starting to see some private equity firms not be, having trouble raising the next round of funding or whatever. The great thing about our model, we are a cash buyer. We have a massive balance sheet, and we think we have a great opportunity for us to be a good capital deployer.
Fantastic. You guys are doing some incredible things. You also attend a lot of industry events. You have other events that are coming up. I just got back from MBA Annual. I know you've got other events coming up. Talk to me about some of the other events that are coming up that you guys are really focused on.
Sure. Well, also in my portfolio, I have assets in the collection and recovery space. And so we are in shows pretty much every week in that space. We also are in the lead generation space. Marketing support's a big thing for us. And Money 2020 is kind of our signature event. So we're doing that in Vegas. And I'm probably going to go to the ones internationally this year. They have one in Thailand, and another one in Europe, and also in Middle East. And the Middle East and Asia are both key areas of focus for us.
Okay, and for those that will be in Vegas, I believe you guys are at booth 22076. There's a lot of booths at that show, guys, so I'm sorry that I didn't just rattle that off of my tongue, but it is booth 22076. I know you guys always do a great job there, so if anyone is going to be in Las Vegas, make sure you stop and see CORA. Denis, what do you see as next? What's coming down the pike either for the end of this year, or what are you guys looking at coming up in early 2026?
We are going to continue. We're so excited about the rollout of Points at Work 2.0. Okay, so this channel loyalty program that I was telling you about, we rolled it out for our launch customer earlier this year. We're actually consuming it ourselves. So we're incentivizing our own employees to help us with building relationships with our customers and doing other things that we find valuable. These types of programs, especially in North America, are huge. And when you think about it, the opportunities for companies to incentivize sales behavior or employee behavior, and people are used to loyalty programs. Now they're everywhere, right? So
Right.
they're ubiquitous, and right. So we spent a lot of time really thinking hard about our Points at Work brand and how we're going to present that to the marketplace. We got a new logo, which is really cool. It's got a little credit card in it and stuff like that, And so we're going to spend an awful lot of time promoting that in a big way. And I would expect us to also probably do some acquisitions that will support that growth of that too, on an international basis. Those kind of channel B2B programs are much more prevalent in North America, which of course is our home. So, we can do it in our backyard, we can do it anywhere. And so I think that's the biggest thing that we're excited about from a organic growth perspective. For me, like I said, I have, significant employee base in Malaysia and Sri Lanka and Singapore and Australia. So I know we'll be spending a lot of time there in the new year as well, looking to grow our business down there.
Excellent. And if people want to find out more about CORA, if they want to have a conversation with you or somebody on your team, what's the best way that they can reach out?
Sure. So the CORA Group website has me and my colleagues, the other portfolio CEOs. You can see anything about any of our companies. There is a CORA loyalty website now. Of course, my component businesses have their own websites. And then I'm on LinkedIn. And if you want to reach out to me, send me a note and I will respond. Always interested in hearing from folks that, want to hear more about our story, whether it be, as a potential customer or one of our customers or as a potential M&A prospect. That's what we do. So.
Outstanding. For those of you who haven't spoken to Denis before, you definitely need to. Like I said, if you're going to be in Vegas at Money 2020, stop by the CORA booth. There's doing a lot of incredible things on loyalty. I love some of your insights on AI. And as you mentioned, if it's a company that's looking for M&A and maybe looking to get acquired, but really still wants to keep that company intact, there's no organization that's better to talk to than the CORA Group. Denis, I can't thank you enough for being on this episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much, Michael.